and this is exciting. So let me run this epiphany, this moment by y'all. Am I the only one? That's the one liner that I wrote down in my notes long time ago that I knew I wanted to bring to the round table. Am I the only one? And here's what I want to know. Am I the only one that has experienced subsequent revelations, subsequent moments, light bulb moments after already beginning infinite banking? So I'll describe something to you. And I wish I could think of what the topic was. Okay. I wish I could think of what the light bulb, I can't remember that part, but I can remember being on a walk. I would have had either my first or maybe even my second policy. I would already have been into the debt recapture journey that we were just talking about, right? And I probably would have even already been using policies for different things. Like I had a sister get married and I used a policy loan to help out with wedding stuff at one point. It's just like we did different things along the way. I wish I could remember on that walk what my aha moment was, but I just know that there were more than one epiphanies that I experienced even after I started infinite banking. Am I the only one that's had that? Have you had that? Can you remember what the things were that struck you? You're like, oh, wait, we could do this also.
Yeah, you're the only one. No, totally kidding.
Perfect. All right. Y'all just sit there and be quiet then, and I'll talk for the next 30 minutes.
No, I think all of us have had moments like that in some shape or form. Um, I think for me, one of the ones that stands out, I don't recall a specific day or exactly what I was doing. And I think it was probably shortly after I had listened to someone's podcast because I listened to a lot of different practitioners and then a lot of different financial stuff. But I was just sitting and thinking, I'm like, I'm so much in that. I was so much in that sort of consumer mindset of only using IBC or the infinite banking concept for my stuff and ourselves instead of thinking, wait a second, I can generate way more income this way. Like if I put this to use in a way that's going to generate more dollars, then I can use that to repay the loans on one something else, and I don't have to pay for it. And so it's realizing how to actually put money to use for income producing assets. That was like and like I know Nelson talks about it in the book, and we see that with the equipment financing example. Totally get that. It's not like that escaped me, but it was more so like, well, how I'm not a logger. I'm not doing that in terms of a business. So what does that look like? And I kind of thought that I could only use it to start a business and then that was going to be how it worked. But there are other ways to actually create income sources that don't involve starting a business. And when that kind of really clicked for me, I'm like, oh wow, well, this is a way that I can use this system to generate more income for my family in a different way. So that doesn't require a lot of my own personal or physical effort to do so. Like a lot of people think that's how you, because there's money at work and people at work, right? And this is another way to put money at work. And that when that sort of light bulb clicked on for me, that's where I was like, okay, now I am starting to see the big picture here of how I can really make this not only work, but also potentially supercharge it into the future and come up with more premium dollars and all this other stuff. So,
I
So
love it.
Jesse,
Yes, sir.
for me, I've reached aha moments more so when I'm making a presentation to a potential client and when I'm showing the effects of their recapturing and they're capitalizing their system and then they're visualizing numbers and it then reinforces for me in their aha moments more so than my own, where they go, wow, I could put it at some point $1 into the system And it's like the dollar the system's going to automatically create value way above and beyond that dollar just by me merely just depositing in the system. Those are where I find my haha moments. I mean, not just for my own personal policies, but just in the experiences when I see the light bulb go off in my prospects or clients' eyes or minds, where they look at that and they go, "Wait, this is not computing." And then that's when they realize the power of compounding and capitalizing. So that's where my aha moments have come from over time.
Very interesting. It makes me think of the saying of when one teaches, two learn. So neat. I was definitely thinking of just from a personal perspective when I asked that question, am I the only one? And I wasn't even thinking in the context yet of how we work with folks and we get to witness their aha moments. And we even can help facilitate that. Okay, very neat, very cool. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that collapses time frames of just teaching this concept to someone else or sharing your experience and talking through that. And that could even be in the context now. You're making me think, of course, I'm having more and more, I'm so excited, conversations with my children about what we do, how we do it, why we do it, and all of those things. And they ask just such profound questions that we're having lots, I mean, just lots of engaging conversations here recently. So I appreciate you making me think about that. Everybody, everybody, Nelson said, should be in the business of banking their business, financing their business. So yeah, Rob, when you said that, well, I didn't have a logging company when I got exposed to infinite banking. What am I supposed to? Well, we're all in a household, right? If folks are just out there, let's say they're W-2, they're in their career. Well, that's the business revenue. However, you're earning an income already. Don't have to change anything. You're just adding one step, which is you're becoming your own banker. So now you treat that income, that cash flow, as your business revenue because it is the revenue for the household, such as it is, right? And then when you can begin compounding that by changing the environment that you put it in. And then you have access to that capital for the things that you would have consumed otherwise. You're just doing it more advantageously now. You're not bleeding out interest dollars to somebody else. Yes, you would pay interest back to an insurance company when you want, how you want, and even if you want. But if you're going to be an honest banker, you're going to pay that back. But if you get a true market rate like you would have elsewhere, then that means you're going to have greater access to greater capital now because you're retaining more that otherwise would have left you. And even in the context of the household and consumption, even based on your W-2 income that you're making premium payments with, you're going to have a greater and a greater pool of capital that you have access to. And that just positions you with the golden rule, right? Of he who has the gold makes the rules to where, like Nelson describes, opportunities will come to you. So maybe you didn't start with a logging business, but then when you're sitting on this capital that's growing and compounding just based on your disciplines and how you've set things up, you're in a position now to probably recognize more things too, and not just recognize more opportunities, but you're literally capitalized to be able to capitalize on those opportunities as they present themselves. So, yeah, just within the household, and I don't shy away from that consumption topic either. We all do consume. We shouldn't just stay there. Like you definitely made me think of, well, yeah, production is better than consumption, but you don't get away from like we eat,
Hmm.
we drive car, like we do consume. We just don't want to just stay there. We don't want to just be the consumers. We want to be the bankers. And that leads to production. That means, yes, we can produce greater income for ourselves, the better capitalized that we are. One other one that occurs to me. I wish I could remember what that first one. I feel like that one was, 1, 2, 3 years. It was probably in the first couple of years. Phone call. Sorry. I know that first subsequent aha moment for me was in the first year or two with the first policy or two. But I definitely remember it was probably more like 4 or 5 years into my IBC journey. I, like you, Rob mentioned, I was listening to everything that I could. I was consuming in that regard as much as I could. I was trying to learn, speed it all up, take it all in. Okay. I remember distinctly learning about human life value from James Nethery and Ryan Griggs talking about it on their podcast, Banking with Life. And that was a big subsequent aha moment for me. And I'm seeing, oh, yes, we do have this policy or two, or I might would have had my third policy by then, but those were all still on three different people. So I still was not thinking in the context of, oh, I only have this amount of insurance even available to me. Well, how much of that availability do I want to acquire for myself as this businessman, young father, husband, etc.? So that was a subsequent aha moment that I can remember that stuck out to me. I'll give you one more, then I'll ask y'all for some more. I had been implementing the concept right at a decade. So this is in the past 12 months or less. Okay. Another aha moment. And this just shows you how strongly I started in on infinite banking and still didn't know everything about whole life. And I'm sure I still don't about whole life insurance. I added a rider onto a, two of my policies that I didn't know you could add after the policy had already gone in force. And you can't with almost all the riders, but you can with some and with certain companies. I added a couple of riders on current policies that I have now that are about a decade old, just here within the past several months or whatever, because I learned more about what these insurance companies offer on their policies. And I see this child benefit rider where I could add that onto my existing policies. And I'm like, well, what have I been doing? Have I even been trying? And I know the answer to that. Yes, I've been trying. Yes, I've been reading. Yes, I've been listening to stuff. But I just learned about it, you know. And of course, when you know better, you can do better. But of course, I'm thinking, oh, my goodness, I would have done things differently. I would have already have had this. And then, of course, I even have. I'm sorry, I'm gonna give you a third one. I even on our most recent child's policy, Jorah, our son Jorah, fourth baby, third son, fourth baby. He has riders. We've built his policy with some riders that our other three children don't have on their policies. Again, because of something that I learned by just staying in this space and rethinking my thinking and just honing my craft. So I know that there have been these like just here within the past several months, all the way to, right there in the beginning. I've had these follow up and Nelson says, rethink your thinking. And I've lived that out and I've experienced that. But I wanted to hear, about, am I the only one? Have y'all had any more that you would point out to folks or to me? I mean, because I want to know, but of course it'll be beneficial for other people to hear.
I'll just say that as I go deeper and deeper into my experiences, is that the policies or the systems that we first put in place invariably never typically don't look like what the initial plan is. So there's what I like as you notice, Jesse, there's always some options later on. Um, whether you could reapply with an existing policy for more coverage, or there's different like or convertibility features on different parts of, let's say, if we build out a term rider. So I would say I've had a lot of aha moments in terms of over time, knowing that there's always, just like life will change and bend and weave. Sometimes the systems that we build also invariably also have those options as well. Just want to let the public that's listening to this content. There's always ways to be able to create flexibility and nuances to an existing system that um, will always just like life, like I said before, will change. So will the needs of a system change, and that we do have tools at our disposal to be able to make those changes for ourselves and for our clients over time.
Yeah, my earlier policies are much more just basic, I would say. They're great. I've done all kinds of banking with them, but I've gotten more honed in policies the more that my understanding has grown and the more conversations I've had with professionals, which of course is going to make me want to say everybody should be having regular ongoing conversations with their professional, because you should be getting better and we're out here getting better as well. And when we continually meet together, we can keep ratcheting things up. And eventually it is a system of policies anyway that we're building over time, right? It's not one policy, it's a system. How about you, Rob?
Yeah, I would say I was just kind of thinking through as David was talking as well. Like one of the things that I think stands out to me is just I I'm thankful that I was able to practice mainly on myself and my family, and not on others, right? Like I had to learn through this process myself. So some of the mistakes I feel like I made is I didn't think long range enough with some of the structure in creating enough space to put future income. So, granted, yeah, that's fine. Like I can add more policies, but I also don't know the future in those situations, right? So, I don't know if there would be a insurability issue. And had I built and structured a couple, or at least one of my policies, my wife's was way better than the one I had done on myself. Um, and thankfully, and I will say this with like absolute happiness that the premium's coming up at the end of this month, and I'm so excited to be able to pay that, right? But um, anyway, I think it's learning through that process of, hey, I thought I knew a lot about structure at that point in time. I know way more now. And and not only that, but like the nuances of all the products, like you were just saying, Jesse, like truly understanding the product that you're selling is or working with somebody is really important. And it's really important that when you're working with somebody that they are doing the thing that they're talking about, because they have gone through these learning curves like what we're talking about. I went through that with myself, with my own system. So I can help people avoid those things in the future because I know what to look for. I did it myself, so I know what it's like. But we can avoid that, help people avoid that because we've built that knowledge base. We've worked with mentors, we've worked with other people in the space that have given us this level of understanding and knowledge that give us the ability to help people at a much more advanced level than what they would normally get. And that I think that's one of the things that brings us so much joy in what we do is a what it does for somebody and absolutely helps them, but also helping them and allowing us to learn along with them through some of their own processes and seeing them be able to take that step forward in a way that is just amazing. I one of my sons he's an adult now and he has a policy and the way that we structured that was so much different than my own. And he has this capacity to be able to that it's going to grow and he can do that. Where, had I done that with mine, would I be happier? Sure. But at the same time, it doesn't change anything. It's still great. It's still doing amazingly well. It's allowing us to do so much that we would have never thought possible. And that learning experience just makes me better for the next person I work with and the rest of my clients I work with.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I can't tell you guys thanks enough for having this conversation with me. I know it is very helpful for everyone. And this is what I would tell you is that these guys' contact information is going to be below in the show notes where you can line up a call with them. If you're not already working with somebody, these are great fellas. Where are you at in your journey? What's the next? This is the action part of this conversation. What's next for you? Have you been listening to us, but you haven't read this book yet? Get into the Becoming Your Own Banker book. I know I've got it at my website, durhamtalents.com. A link for you to be able to get directly to Nelson's book for yourself. Is it time for you to line up that one-on-one call? Have an introductory call with somebody. Talk to Rob, talk to David. If you're working with me, do we need to be having our next conversation? So it's the action part of our conversation. My hope is that you live and leave a lasting legacy. Have a great day. Take care. Here's what I'd like to do. And we can even like take 2 minutes for, doing 10 air squats or whatever. I got another subject I'd like to run by y'all to the top of the hour. Are y'all down for that? Are you available for that? Tell me.
I'm good to go till the top of the hour.
Okay. And then take like 60 seconds. I'm going to knock out a couple of air squats right here and let's. I'm gonna prompt y'all with another topic, or should I even tell you? No, I'm not gonna tell you what it is.
Do you want us to follow suit? You guys know me. I already got my exercise in before this.
Do you follow like any specific sort of regimen in order to like make sure that you stay very limber? But you do way more effort than like you're going way further distance and all that other stuff.
And Rob and
But,
me
like,
combined.
Yeah, like how are you like what do you do extra to make sure that you stay like you don't get any negative side effects, so to speak? 'Cause I'm kind of intrigued by that.
Let's not create the illusion that I don't suffer behind the scenes on what I put my body through. So let's just dispense with that initially. No different than like we build people's systems. I think just complete analogies on that system and the system where you're making deposits into a system. I'm making energy deposits in my body. And I need to make sure as I'm making deposits, I make withdrawals. I need to make sure I put deposits back in. So there's a lot of analogies here. We can on a different time, a different podcast that I think that would serve well.
Cool.